Hello guys, in this video I'll be showing you how to make product render with nice atmospheric lighting. For this video I'll be using two models, a perfume model and also a rock. I got these two models from the internet. One I got from Sketchfab. um I got this model from this awesome creator, Edzed Zakaria. So shout out to this guy. He's an awesome creator. He's made everything that we need for the model. Really beautiful model. um just look at him. This guy is a hero. All right, enough glazing right now. Okay, so now, and I got the rock from Quizzle Megascan. You can see so many rocks here. You just scroll and select whichever rock you want to use. For me, I forgot which rock exactly I used, but yeah, whatever. So let's get straight into Blender. Now we're in Blender. I'm just going to delete everything in this scene because we don't need them. Now I'll start adding my models. So for this collection, maybe I'll name it perfume or perf or whatever. Then I'll come to, since the model I downloaded is I think it's an FBX. So let's go to FBX. I'll start with the rock model for now. So is this rock rough? So I'm going to select this LOD 0 and then have it into Blender. You can see now it's very tiny. I want it to be a lot bigger, so I'm going to increase the size of this, and then I'm going to create a new collection. I'm going to call this rock. Then move this to here. The perfume, I forgot. Let's see, documents, assets, perfume. I forgot the file format. I think it's GLB properties. Yep, it's an GLB file format. So I'm going to import the perfume GLB, and then I go to where I saved it, assets, then scroll down to, where is it? Yep, this is it. So now that it's inside Blender, I'm going to move everything M to the puff collection, then move it upwards to this point, and then add my camera. I'm going to add my cameras now. Add camera, move the camera upwards. I'm going to animation so that I can have this space where I can have my camera view. Close this, drag this in, and then set my camera. Move the camera backwards, and then for the rotation, I'm going to have it at 0. So I'm coming here, everything at 0. So on the x-axis, I'm going to have this at 90, and then for the resolution, I'm going to have everything and a 2K resolution. So it's going to be squared 2K with 200. This is 200. Let's see, 2000. Now this is 2K. For the camera, I'm going to have the focal length at 95, and then I'm going to get to camera view, and then for the viewport display, I'm going to increase the perspective all the way to 1. Then move this backwards so that I can fully view what's going on. I think I'm going to leave it at this spot. Then I'm going to select the perfume, but it's empty, and then it's facing the opposite direction. I want it to face the camera, so RZ180 to have it facing the camera. That is the text, so that you can actually see the name of the brand. It's a Dior, Sauvage Dior. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Well, it doesn't matter. What we want to make is a nice render. So now I'm going to select this rock and have it to a rotation where I think looks nice. I'm going to give it an epic rotation to maybe like this, then move it back, move it on the y-axis. I want to have my perfume standing on the rock, so something like this, and then move this upwards, and then move this backwards again, move it upwards. Then move it backwards again. I want also the perfume, like, taking a bit of a risk. It gives it a little bit of epicness to the render, as if it's also about to fall, so that we know that our perfume also does some stunt. It's not afraid of taking risk. Okay, so now I'm going to save this. I've gone too far without saving it. So I'm just going to name this Dior Perf Render or whatever. It's all caps, but you know what, doesn't matter. So now for the perfume, you can see that everything here is plain. Let's go to the rendered view. Have this at cycles. We're going to be using circles. And then for the viewport display, I'm going to have the max sample at 64. We don't really need higher samples. And then for the render, I'm going to have it at 256. All right. So now for the color management, I'm going to have it at high contrast. That's all for now. And then I'm going to drag this downwards and then create a space for the shader editor. For rock, I'm going to import the shaders. So I'm going to select this. If you have your node wrangler add-on enabled, you just click on Shift Ctrl T, and then it opens up a folder where you can download the textures. I'm going to go to where the textures are saved, and I'm going to select this. I can select all of these three and then directly import them into Blender. Then I'm going to click, and then you see it imports all the necessary shaders into Blender all at a click. Awesome add-on. All right, so now let's see, do I need to rotate this more? So yep, I need to rotate it more. I don't like the other rotation wasn't looking as epic. So now this camera is too far. Let's get it closer to the product, to somewhere like this. And then I'm going to have the camera tilt a little bit up. So I'm not going to rotate this like this. I'm going to use this Shift YX or whatever the name is. It just looks nicer when you do it through this way. And then I'm going to have it at 0.5 and then move it closer again. Right now we are working in the dark, which is not supposed to be. Then move it upwards. I think this is too close, so move it backwards, then take it down to this point. I might have to move the rock a bit closer to maybe this point. Don't know about the size though. Should I think I'm going to decrease the size a little bit. Decrease this, move this here, and then move it upwards. Okay, so now move this forward, I think, right? Then move it backward this point. I kind of prefer like this placement. I'm also going to move the camera a little bit closer, somewhere like this, and so up. I think like this is okay. I might have to rotate this also. Please do not mind me trying to be a perfectionist. I'm just trying to get the right angle. At this point, we need to start adding in some lighting. Okay, so for the lighting, I'll be using the sky texture. So I'll select on color, and then I'll scroll down to the sky texture, and then have it at Nashita. And then for the sun elevation, I'm going to now play around with this. I want like sun elevation to, let's try 180. I want to have like an evening time, something like this, maybe like the golden hour. And then for the ozone, let's try 360, 90. Okay, you know what, I'm going to have it at 180. And then for the ozone, I'm going to increase this to like 1.1. I think it's okay. And then for the doors, let me increase this and see what we have. Just too much, so I'm going to leave it at 1. For air, let's see, air, I'm going to have it at 1.1 as well. And then for the sun rotation, let's try 90. Let's try 180. Let's try 60. I like this this little stripe here, adds a little bit of drama to the scene. And you can see I have a little bit of reflection on my bottle, which I do not want any reflection on my bottle. So I'm going to off the reflection of this. So I'll come to object property and visibility, and I'm going to up the glossiness, and now there's no longer reflection. I might change this a little bit, but for now let's just keep using it as it is. So let's go back to this and then what to change. I'm going to leave all this as it is for now, and then I will come to I will start doing some lighting. So now this is the point, this is the part where I start to do some atmospheric lighting. So I'm going to be adding some settings to make it look nice. All right, so now for the, let me have this at 1 and see. I'm still not satisfied with this. Okay, let's leave this. So for making it look a bit dramatic, I'm going to add a volume. So I'm going to select here, and I don't know what to call, I'm just going to call this volume. Move this, and then select add a cube, make the cube a little bit bigger, make sure it's inside make sure everything is inside the cube, and then create a new shader, delete this, and then shift A, add a volume. Let's write volume. I'm going to add a principal volume, so I'm going to add link the volume to volume, and then we have this, and I'm going to make sure the volume is a little bit bluish, so increase the saturation to this volume is just too dense, So I'm going to have it at 0.5. It's looking a bit better. It's now looking a bit better. So now what are we going to do? What is the next step to do? I'm going to start adding in my lighting. I'm going to start a little bit of lighting. So now I'm going to create a new collection for lighting. So select this and just name it lights, trying to keep everything organized. So for let me go to this view. So for the lighting, I'll start by adding in a spotlight. So I'm going to bring this to this point, then move it here, move it again. Make sure it's facing make sure it's on the perfume. Perfume is our main highlight. And then I'm going to come into lighting. For the lighting, I'm going to have to increase this to, let's try 100 and see what we have. Okay, and then I'm going to the radius, I'm going to have it at 0.1, and then for the spot size, I'm going to decrease it all the way like this point. This is looking a bit nice. Yep. Is it okay? To see the effect of this lighting, I'm going to have to decrease the sun elevation, or is it increase it? Let's just play with this and see what we have. So I'm going to have like a night mode, something like this. 182. 182 seems about right. So let's see how much effect spotlight has. So you can see it has a little bit highlight on the rock. So I'm coming here, and then on the front view, I'm going to rotate this to this point, something like this, and then move it somewhere like this. Okay, we are having something now. Now our scene looks nice, but it's kind of looking dull. So I'm going to add another light again, which is the sunlight light. I'm coming here, and I'm going to add the sun. And then I'm going to move this upwards, just take it out of the scene. And I'm going to play around with the rotation of the sun till I get a decent value. So for the strength, let me put it at 5. Seems a bit strong. So I'm just going to keep playing with this angle of the sun. Let's try 180. 180, it's looking nice. We have a bit of a highlight here, which is making it look a bit nicer. So let's try 185. 185. 180, 185. There's no difference. Doesn't even go to 185. So let's try this at 1. Let's see 2. I'm going to leave it at 2 for now. And then for the, I'm also going to add another, okay, but I'm going to come into the camera and then add make it blur. So I'm going to add a depth of field. Depth of field, I'm going to add depth of field to my perfume. So I'm coming here, I'll come to this place, and then select this, the glass, and then I have a bit of a depth of field. I can decrease this if we are not seeing anything. So I'm going to increase this to, let's say, 1. How about 1.5 or 2? So I'm going to leave it at 2. We have a bit of a depth of field. So now I want to add God rays. If at this point if you are satisfied with your render, you can leave it as it is. If you want to make it look a bit more interesting, you can go ahead and add God rays. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to be adding God rays. So I'll select the cube, and then for now, for this, I'm going to add a color ramp. So Shift A, color ramp, plug the color to color, and then the next shader to add is a Voronoi shader. So Voronoi shader. You know what? I'm going to increase the intensity of this so that I can see what I'm doing. Maybe this is too much. And then I'm going to make this white. Okay, not now. So I'm going to color to factor, plug color to factor, and then I'm going to just scroll this. You can see our scene is getting dark, but not to worry. And then I'm going to make this 4D. After putting it at 4D, if you have your color ramp enabled, you just click on Ctrl T, and then it brings on the texture coordinate and the mapping. For the detail, I'm going to have it at 2. And see, we're having a bit of a detail here. And then for the scale, let's try 15. See what we have. You see what we are having a little bit. And then for this, I'm going to have this at 0. On the X, and then let's say 2.5. It's getting a little bit nicer. So now, if I want, let's decrease the intensity to 0.2 and see what we have. Still not giving me the effect that I want, although I'm liking like the noise. If the noise is not something you like, you can go ahead and remove it. So here I'll have it at ease, and then bring it close to see what we have. You can see these rays, but I want them to be bigger. If there's a way to make it bigger, let's see. By the way, I can have this at to be a little bit bluish. Decrease this. Have this at like this. Then here, I'm going to leave it at white. At this point, I'm just going to be playing around with the color ramp till I get some effect from the God rays. Let's try. Let me try this. Let me add it to 2 or 5. Let's try 0.1. Still not. You know what? I'm going to have this. I'm going to increase the intensity to 1, and let's see the effect of the God ray. I'm going to invert this to here, then rotate it a bit to make sure the rays are aligning. You know what? Let me denoise. Probably because of the noise. If it's not denoise, that's why. So now I'm going to have this at 0.1, or let's try 0.2, 0.3. Okay, so invert this again. this point. Then I'm going to select this to, I don't know, 0.5. Still the effect is not coming as much as I want it. And then I'm going to rotate this like this and have the god rays a bit slanted on the object. Again on the wall, I'm going to also make this a bit darker to like this point. I don't know if this point feels about right. And then for the rays, I'm going to have this at 1 for now, so that I can actually see the lines as they cut in. So I'm going to play around with this, maybe increase the size, and then move it here. There you have the shadows. Should I invert? Wow. So like this, and then I'm going to have this at 0.1. See, we're having a little bit of, we're having the nice rays coming down like this, and we have the bit of a highlight here. And then I'm going to increase one more light, which is the area light. Then move it here. At this point, make sure it's facing the bottle. Move this here. You know what? I'm not really sure about this lighting, so I'm going to hide this for now. And then I'm going to play around with the spotlight to see what we have. Rotate this like this point, and come to the light, and then let's see at 500 what do we have. Is it too much? Let me try to move this here. Let's try 300, and then make sure to rotate this to increase this. For the blending, I'm going to have it all the way. And then what else? I'm going to decrease this so very well, and then increase the red, not the radius, increase the spot size a little bit. I think this is too much. Let's say 0.05. 0.05 is decent. And then I'm going to bring this back. The area light, I'm going to have it at least flashing the rock. So move this back a bit, because the rock is kind of too dark, too dull, and I don't want it to affect the bottle. So I'm going to click this bottle and then select the light. Let me off this volume, it's kind of distracting me. Select this and then select this, Control L, receive emitter, exclude, and then no longer have this. And then for this also, this, select this, Control L, exclude. So now you see we have, let me show you what we have now. See the rock is too dark, and then we have a bit of a highlight. Let me bring back the volume, and then yeah, you can go ahead and save this. If you are satisfied with this, you can either decide to, let's say, let's bring the camera backwards, give it a bit of a distance. This is how you can create a product render with a little bit of God rays, with a little bit of atmospheric, with a little bit of atmosphere, um, using the sky texture, also the spotlight, and then also the volume. Let me bring this volume up a bit to this point, something like this, and then go ahead and click on render. Then you're going to have your results. So please guys, do not forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and see you next time on my next video.